Oi Brasil, olha eu aqui de novo, dessa vez direto de um tapete amarelo. Eu tô na premiere mundial de Argylle, o super espião. Mais uma história de espiões pra gente amar de nossas. E dessa vez com o muso Henry Cavill, Dua Lipa e um grande elenco. Eu bati um papo com eles, dá só uma olhada.
I certainly hope you dance as well as you dress.
There's only one way to find out.
You and I, we're not so different. Agent Argylle.
Little help? Hold on.
So, guys, first of all, nice to meet you in person. I really like the movie, and I was wondering, when I watched it, Ellie is a woman discovering herself, and how was your process of discovering her?
Well, for me, it was really fun to play Ellie Conway because I really related to that character. My mom is a novelist, and so I grew up in a household with an introverted parent who was writing books nonstop, heavily researched. She is a cat lady. She has very little interest in leaving the house. Okay. So I felt like I understood that character. And so it felt in a way very, very natural to step into that role.
And Bryan, your characters, both of your characters have a lot of layers to them. So how would you describe your character without giving that much away? Because this is actually a hard interview to do, because there's a lot of spoilers. So how would you describe him?
I would describe him as a sophisticated man.
Just like you.
Yes. He is desperate to keep things in control. Order is what he likes. He wants, that construct. And when things get out of order and people misbehave, there are consequences for that. And
murder.
Well, sometimes people
Carnage.
have to be eliminated in some ways, but you hope to make very judicious choices when you come to those things. But he likes control and power. Don't we all?
Don't we all? Yes. Yeah. And Bryce, there's a lot of CGIs and choreography in this movie. I know you've answered this the whole day, but how was it to you to get prepared for this? And how was it to you when you first watched it on camera?
Yeah, so, that's so much of the fun of making a movie like this that has a lot of scope and spectacle and that there, you do know that they're, like the CG is going to go beyond just set extensions. There's going to be worlds created. Matthew was very communicative about what his vision was throughout. So we all had a very good sense of what he was intending at the end of the day. So it makes it all the more fun. And then when you see the movie, you get to kind of be part of the audience because you're seeing things for the first time, which is fantastic. Really fun.
Cool. And Bryan, how was it to you to act with a cat?
I love that cat.
I'm like, good start, Bryan.
It was fun. It was.
I heard it's Claudia Schiffer's cat.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. It's their real cat, and very well behaved. A beautiful looking cat, and it was fun to come up with ideas how to torment the cat. It was fun to be able to think, what else I could do to the cat is this, that, and the other, which actually was appropriate as far as the storyline, because I don't particularly like cats. Talking as Ritter, what's the purpose of a cat? What do they serve? Nothing. They're independent. They're all self-centered. I have no use for them.
I mean, they domesticated us. They're in charge. But sure.
Yes, I know. I mean, they make you into a robot. I don't want that. He doesn't particularly like cats. I know he knows that she has a tremendous love for this cat, and that gives me leverage, which is always good to have.
Yes.
The thing that was fun about working with Chip is that, you know, like you were saying, Chip is Claudia and Matthew's family cat. And so there was a lot of love there. And also there was zero tolerance for Chip having any discomfort. So Chip admittedly spent a lot of time in the trailer, hanging out, being fed lots of treats. And there was a stuffed animal version of Chip that was made that was a replica of him, so that he was never in any kind of situation that was stressful.
Right.
So.
All the mistreatment is the stuffed cat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa! Hey! There's a cat in there! Oh my God, you're Ellie friggin' Conway.
Author of Argylle series, Ellie Conway!
I am such a fan!
Oh yeah? What is it you do?
Espionage.
Would you sign my book?
Here we go. I love this book! Come on.
I want to know, Sam, because you usually see this idealized version of a spy.
Yeah.
And Aidan is like the real spy in this movie. So what do you think him and Argylle and James Bond have in common, and what are the differences?
Well, we get to meet some of these real people, like Navy SEALs or FBI agents. Sometimes in our line of work, we'll meet people, and sometimes they're not as what you might think. They're very unassuming, cowboys, whatever. And so I guess the answer to that is it's really kind of. You ever seen Broadcast News, the movie Broadcast News? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like William Hurt being Henry Cavill and me being Albert Brooks, I guess you could say. That's my comparison to it.
Good.
Yeah.
John, I have to ask you this question.
If you have to ask, go ahead.
I'm a huge Dua Lipa's fan. Mm-hmm. How was it to work with her?
She was fantastic, honestly. And I'm completely flattered about the kind things she had to say about me, but she's a consummate professional, honestly. Movie making takes a lot of time. You shoot for a little bit, you stop down for a lot. You shoot for a little bit, you stop down for a lot. She was professional when we shot, and she's a great human being when we stopped down to hang out for a lot. So, nothing but great things to say.
Yeah.
You can still be a fan. I still will allow you that. Yeah.
And she's gorgeous in this movie. I mean, so Sam, you actually approach action and comedy in this movie. I think that you are like the comic relief in this movie.
Yes.
So is it hard to balance action and comedy in parts like this?
No, I mean Harrison Ford's been doing it forever, So it's an old trick that I just copied from Cary Grant, and everybody's been doing that trick for a while. It's a great genre to reinvent, and Matthews reinvented it and put it on steroids and punched it up to 11. It's really like he's really like we're baking the cake and eating it too.
And there's a lot of choreography in this movie, and I saw you on Faust & Verdun.
Yeah.
And how's the difference between playing Faust & Verdun and playing this kind of character?
Well, fake fighting is kind of like dancing.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
But I can't dance.
I mean, you can fake fight, you can really fight, so you can dance. That's dancing. That's eventually
in
dancing.
25 years. I haven't really hit anybody in 25 years.
But you got to move. You got lateral movement, right?
I appreciate it.
It's the same thing, right? You're fighting with you're dancing with your hands and your feet. Similar thing. I mean, Lomachenko, one of the greatest fighters, was taken out of boxing to do Ukrainian dance lessons for 4 years. So there you go. It's all about moving your feet.
And John, what was your first reaction when you read your part, when you read the script?
I get to be in this? This is going to be great. No,
wait a minute, you're in this?
I am.
What the hell's going on?
Man. No, that was absolutely it. I honestly, I am a huge fan of Matthew's work. I am a fan of the Kingsman franchise specifically. And to hear that he was kind of getting the band back together, I chased him down. And I was like, hey, man, I don't want to. I'm just going to put it to you. Any way I can help this film, fine. And he went back and said, well, I have this thing. It isn't exactly this, but it will become. I said, I don't care. I just want to be a part of this because I know it's going to be great. And I'm so glad he took my call and allowed me to be a part of this.
Speaking of a call, I read that you were chasing Matthew to play a part in a movie of him after watching Kingsman.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, yeah, me and John, yeah, same thing. I saw Laird K. Kingsman.
We lived the same story.
We lived the same story.
Gosh, Laird King.
I saw Kingsman, then I saw Laird King, then I saw Kick-Ass, and so I was like, wow, this guy's really something.
The man can make a movie.
He knows how to make a movie.
Yeah, he does.
Who are these people?
Real-life spies.
Why would they care about me?
Because you're a goddamn fortune teller, Ellie. What you wrote in your new book actually happened, and you kicked a hornet's nest you didn't even know existed.
I'm in some really big trouble, Mom.
Oh, so now you're experimenting with drugs.
I want all assets on them now. I need her to write the next chapter.
God, I hate that cat.
How did you cast this movie? Because I always imagine Henry as a spy, and I want to know, how did you get the idea of making him Argylle?
Well, you can answer that for me because you always imagined him as a spy. So we have the same brain. And I knew he would create the super spy in 1 second. You know, I needed to get someone that could pull off a flat top as well. Mm-hmm. So I knew Henry would look great with a flat top, look great in the velvet jackets with the Nero collar.
He looks great in everything.
In everything. Well, that's what I said. So I was like, great, he will pull it off for me. And we have a mutual trust, and he's a friend, and he's a pleasure to work with. So I knew there was no other actor could play Argylle as well as him.
And I'm a huge Dua Lipa's fan.
Yeah.
How was it?
Well, you must have loved the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So how was it for you? Why did you cast her for this movie?
Well, the same reason. I had Henry Cavill as the super spy and great looking and the suit. And I was like, oh my God, I now need the equivalent as a woman who will come in and be equal, and then together it's like, wow. And Dua, I think, she's talented, she's beautiful, she's got charisma, and I knew the two of them would be an instant, wow, what are we watching?
And I saw in the book, the cover of the book, it says the biggest French spy franchise after Ian Fleming.
Yeah, I said that as a joke. And I'm like, oh my God, someone put this on.
I thought it's real. I want to know, is like a huge deal to have a franchise like this in your hands. So what are your plans for this franchise?
Well, hopefully everybody will like it enough that they'd like to see another one. And then there's the book, which is the real book. And this movie's about book 4. The book is book 1. So the plan will be next we shoot book 1, which is there's a coda at the end of the film. And then you might have noticed that all I can say is Argylle does dress in very well-tailored suits. So you can go off and think about what that means.
You have a lot of choreography in this movie, and we all have talked about Sam Rockwell's ability of dancing and John Cena wrestling. So how did you manage the CGI, the choreography, the stuntman? How did this equation come into this movie?
Well, I'm like the conductor, so I have to keep an eye on all of them. But it's just hard work and discipline and picking the right music. It all comes from the music, and then that tells you, the right song is like. Where are you from again? Brazil.
Brazil.
Wait, come on, it's like you hear the right piece of samba, you can't help but you all move together, and the music just sets the tone.
And you have your cat on screen, Chip.
I do.
Why did you decide to get him in?
Well, the first day we had an acting cat, and it couldn't act. It was terrible, all right? And it wasn't that cute either. So I went home, and I said to my daughter, my wife, can I borrow the cat for 3 months? And he came to work with me. We drove to work. He hung out with me. And I think because we were together, he was relaxed. So he was amazing.
Weren't you afraid of getting him into the scenes?
No, he's gonna, we will all be working for him now.
Thank you so much for your time.
Well, spread the news and, obrigado.
Ah, que elencão, hein, gente? Pois é, lembrando que Argylle, o Super Espião, chega nos cinemas mais perto de você no dia 1º de fevereiro. Você não perde por esperar. É um bafo. Nhau, gatinho!
It's time for you to meet the real Agent Argylle.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh.
My